We have a joke here in the office of the Iowa Conference UCC that starts happening about this time every Advent. And what will happen is that our wonderful office manager, Joe Ordway, will begin to drag out all of the Christmas decorations to liven up our office and hopefully liven up our spirits. So the first year that she did this, she brought out all the decorations, including our nativity set. And the nativity set, of course, she set out in its entirety. Of course, she didn't know that part of her job was also liturgical correctness here in the office. And so I and other people in the office said, no, we can't have Mary and Joseph and the baby in the manger yet because the baby has not yet been born at the beginning of Advent. Of course, Jo, being the sainted person that she is, said, oh, why would that be? And so we explained that the baby Jesus then should not come forth from until Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and that Mary and Joseph would have been traveling to Bethlehem during the Advent season, or what wasn't the Advent season yet back then. But this, even though this is a joke in our office, Jo now knows better and puts the baby Jesus and Mary and Joseph in the manger later in the season. But even though it's a joke, it really comes from a serious place. Advent is, in fact, a time of waiting. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the darkest time of the year. It's a time of anticipation, of waiting, of preparation for the Christ child. And so I take that very seriously in our Advent season. I was doing my own personal devotions for Advent, or looking at some for Advent, and I ran across one of my favorite devotional books, which is Jan Richardson's Night Visions. It's a tremendous book that you can still buy online if you look for it. And a couple of sentences jumped out to me when I read this. She writes, "I believe that Christ came not to dispel the darkness, but to teach us to dwell with integrity, compassion, and love in the midst of ambiguity. The one who grew in the fertile darkness of Mary's womb knew that darkness is not evil of itself. Rather, it can become the tending place in which our longings for healing, justice, and peace grow and come to birth." So what are you hoping for this Advent season? What are you waiting for? What are you anticipating that you just can't wait for? We're going to invite you into conversation. We'll be posting one of these devotionals every week during Advent from one member of our staff. But we'll also be posting devotionals and resources for Advent on our Facebook and Twitter feed, and inviting you into conversation about what are you hoping for? What are you anticipating this Advent season?